Mini Grinder here. This is Hobbytips. In this episode, I'll be covering Object Source Lighting, also known as OSL. I was asked to paint Stonehaven's Half Orc Thief as an arcane trickster, and this piece inspired me to make this tutorial. In this episode, I'll show you how I did the glowing effect on Stonehaven's Male Ranger. It is the iconic piece from their recent Fulfilled Kickstarter campaign. So this piece in particular deserves something special. And so here we are before the upgrade. As you can see, I painted the swords as kind of a cold steel. At this stage, I really do think that the miniature looks great, but it could look more dynamic. It's going to take a lot of blending to get this effect, so thinning out your paint is a must. For my wet palette, I use the foam inserts and plastic casings of miniature packages. It really helps me control the amount of water that I'm adding to the paint. Whatever your light source may be, you'll want to start with a base layer of white. You can then color the light source with a light wash. Of the many colors to choose from for a lightning sword, I'm going with Imperial Purple. Go back in with a blend of white to accent how your source is being lit. You can see I approached the fire sword slightly differently. While the lightning sword has kind of an internal glow effect, the fire sword has an external glow effect. The difference comes from how you handle the white space on the light source. Just a few finishing free hands and the lightning sword is finished. I'm taking a lightly loaded thin wash of Imperial Purple, and wherever the light would hit the surface of the miniature, apply the wash. To define the edge of the emitted light, especially on soft corners, use an even thinner wash and blend it out evenly. Next up, I'm going to mix the light source color with some white and highlight any surface that you would normally highlight with the mix. But keep in mind that the intensity of the light changes the further from the light source that you get. For the OSL effect from the fire sword, I'm actually going to be using multiple colors. With the lightning sword, I just used two. I used Imperial Purple and Pure White. The base color of the OSL effect is Fire Orange, but I need to fill out that color gradient to create a nice warm light. Using the same technique with the lightning sword, I'm going to start out with a thin blend of Marigold Yellow, and then further highlighted with a mix of white and Marigold Yellow. At this point, it looked more like a glow, and I wanted it to be a little bit more fierce, more warm. So I went back in with a thin blend of Sun Yellow and touched up the color gradient. I went ahead and did the same thing to the sword too. Let's take a look at the finished piece in the light box. When choosing a contour on the surface of the miniature to paint your OSL effect, it's a fine balance between artistic license and natural recreation. The desired effect is somewhere in between. Thanks for watching another episode of MGStudio Hobby Tips. I'm delighted by every like, and I am motivated from every subscribe. Thank you. If you'd like to follow my work, head over to my Facebook or Google Plus page, MiniGrinderStudio. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, BigDwarfGames.com. Until next time, hone your craft.